So AEW may be facing challenges coming up next year with the NBA looking for someone to sign or for them to get a TV deal and whatnot, close to $1.3 billion. That's what they're looking for. Now, if Warner Media decides to take the NBA, this may be a problem for AEW. They may lose their TV deals. I mean, everything's going wrong with that. Injuries, their programming is not doing very well. Well, we're going to be talking about that and much more today on the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. Let's get this.
Is the moment we've all been waiting for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome to another report or another Chokeslam Wrestling Report. I am your host, the infamous Ultimate One from the Boogie Down Bronx. And I am here with another episode. My voice sounds a little, I don't know, rough or whatever the case may be, is because I'm recuperating from a little cold and whatnot. But let's talk about what is going on with AEW. I know a lot of you are more concerned about Crown Jewel and the WWE. I'll be talking about that toward the end of this little video and whatnot. So let's talk about what is going wrong with AEW, possibly everything going on wrong with AEW this year. Let's talk about the latest report that came in about the possibility of AEW maybe probably out of TV because the TV deals that's going on right now. Now, the NBA right now are looking for a lot of money. They're looking for $1.6 billion for TV rights, something to that effect. Now, you guys know that TBS and TNT, I think mostly TNT, they the ones they show most of the NBA games on Tuesdays. And I think it's on Thursdays and Fridays. It depends what's going on. But that is not good news for AEW, because if TNT decides or Warner Media decides to wants to go to bed with the NBA for more money, this could hurt AEW as far as them getting the money they're supposed to be getting for the budget for their programming. Now, this is not good at all, because if that happens now, they got to shop to look for somewhere else. I mean, I got other ideas here that I think that they could do if that was to happen. But also, there's word of the USA Network is looking at the possibility of them bringing the NBA to their programming. And if that happens, that's a problem for WWE, because then they got to be looking for another spot for the Raw and SmackDown. I think SmackDown is probably going to end up staying in USA Network. I believe Raw is going to be on Peacock or the NBC Universal, whatever the case may be. So it'll be a big win if TNT does not get the NBA, because then they don't worry about, well, now Warner Media could just put all their money on AEW and whatnot. So it's just a very complicated situation. Now, again, I'm not an expert on this. I don't really know what's up with the TV deal. I know there was rumors also that Universal and I think NBC was somebody was gonna buy somebody. It was just some big stuff that me and my boy were talking about, and that could also hurt AEW. But everything that's possibly going wrong or could go wrong for AEW is happening now. I get into a lot of discussion, a lot of arguments, a lot of debates about AEW, but I believe that everything is going wrong for AEW, and that is Tony Khan's fault. Again, Tony Khan has fell into the well of these promoters. They want to start a company, and they worrying about what WWE is doing. Now, yes, when Tony Khan brought in AEW and the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and Cody, pretty much they were the alternative. Okay. But let me put it this way. This week's show of Dynamite was not, and I repeat, was not a good show. The fact that Tony Khan is still appearing on TV to make an announcement that was worthless. I thought that he was going to mention, oh, we're bringing somebody. Oh, there's going to be a big show coming up. He was talking about something that we already know, and that is All In for next year. But he was talking about the ticket sales, that they were going to, Christmas is going to come in early. I think this Friday coming up, the ticket sale or something to the effect, you can get the tickets early. Dude, like, you need to be on TV. Let's be realistic. You don't need to be on TV. Okay, you could have put that in Twitter, but you don't want to put that. But you want to talk bullcrap about WWE on Twitter. It makes you sound like you're a little girl and whatnot, complaining that you lost NXT and talking about John Cena and Undertaker being in a show that they made under 1 million. Again, not focus on the product that they have. And it's bad enough that they lost Bryan Danielson. And it's crazy because Bryan Danielson is calling out Okada for Wrestle Kingdom in January. And he just had an orbital bone surgery because of what Okada did to him at the tag team match with him, Orange Cassidy against Claudio and Bryan Danielson with the Rainmaker thing. So now my thing is, everything is going wrong with AEW, and I could go back with everything. When I mean everything started going wrong. Now, a lot of you guys are going to be like, oh, you just don't like this certain individual. Yes. And I'm talking about CM Punk. That's when everything went downhill. When he brought in CM Punk pretty much suckered the fans, suckered AEW Tony Khan into thinking that he was going to make a whole difference, and that by this time this year they were going to be up there in the same level with WWE. It didn't happen because the man's ego was bigger than the product, and the man's ego pretty much tarnished the company. The man's ego put a dark cloud over the company. He left, he came back, did the same shit again, and there's another dark cloud hovering over AEW. Okay? AEW has only done 1 million twice this year. Twice. And that was earlier this year. Okay? Mind you that the pay-per-views are pretty good, but 1 million twice this year, that's a problem. That is a big problem. Then let's not count all the injuries that they have. Hold on one second. Now, I decided that to go and look for all these wrestlers that AEW got hurt. Okay. And the majority of them, let's put it this way. The majority of them, I think, is the injury list here. Go here and check it out. But the injury has gotten ridiculous to the point where you have to ask yourself this question. They got a lot of injuries. First of all, Adam Cole. Now they got the biggest storyline going on with Adam Cole and MJF, and Adam Cole goes and jumps off the damn ramp on Grand Slam and twists his ankle, and now he's out. Right? So they broke his ankle in 3 places and will need surgery. So he broke his ankle in 3 places. It means that he may not be back to probably February. By then, MJF probably be out and whatnot. Then you got Bandito, which announced he had surgery for a broken wrist that he suffered at a match against Kanuska Takeshita for the AEW Rampage taping at June 14th. It's crazy. Then Brian Danielson, like I mentioned earlier, broke his orbital bone on October 25th at Dynamite. Tony Vine said that October 28th, AEW clinches that Danielson could be out for the rest of 2023, which that was announced all over the place that he's out for the whole year. Then we got Danhausen, which Danhausen's not a big needle mover, but he's been out with a torn right pectoral at AEW Revolution beginning of this year and whatnot. There's Vignette who's been aired on October 7th, episode of AEW Collision, announcing he will be returning soon. So Kyle O'Reilly, another guy who I feel that, would have made a whole difference in their AEW. He's been out since last year. He had a neck fusion surgery, or at least not expected back at all this year. So then you got Mark Davis, one half of the Aussie Open on October 2nd, 2023 on, I believe it was Wrestle Dream. Davis tweeted that he snapped his wrist and has not been determined how long he will be out due to injury. And this is why Kyle Fletcher now is hanging out with Don Callis' family. So Mark Quinn from Private Party, which much of nobody has seen them. I saw him on House of Glory not long ago. Hasn't wrestled since November due to an injury. We don't know when he's going to be back. Pac, undisclosed injury, was injured on August 4th, 2023, Rampage taping. He hasn't been seen. Parker Baldro, undisclosed injury, and then Red Velvet, inactive, last wrestled February 1st, close to a return. Sammy Guevara, also injured, who's a big guy, big star in AEW. He's announcing a tweet on October 17th that he is not cleared for action. Serena Deeb, inactive, hasn't wrestled since October 2022. Recently appearing backstage. Ty Mello announced pregnancy. So she's pregnant. So she's on maternity leave. And Thunder Rosa, back injury. Thunder Rosa teased that she's ready to have a potential fight with Stephanie Vaquel. I don't know about that, but again, constantly situations that they find themselves now with these, bad luck that they've been having, and I think what made it worse was the CM Punk getting fired, and then right after that, Tony Khan, within a month, he's complaining that he lost to NXT when they stacked up the card, but you had to expect that. You had to expect that. I wasn't in for it because I'm like, okay, you can't use your regular roster. I'm going to continue saying that, but it is what it is. It happened already. They lost. First of all, it was a Tuesday night, so he couldn't preempt it. That's what I would have done, but he wanted to. Again, Tony Khan walks around very cocky and whatnot. And then that whole week when he lost to NXT, that's all he was doing on Twitter, just lashing out, talking about how much he hates WWE because during his mom was in the hospital, that WWE tried to connect with AEW wrestlers while they were, on the contract. Yada, yada, yada. But the problem is Tony Khan is not concentrating on the brand. Now, if you guys remember when he was in, when AEW first started, every pay-per-view that you expected a surprise. And there was always a surprise every pay-per-view. Now he's not doing that. He's not. And to me, that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? That is a problem when you stop doing that. You know what I'm saying? And then, you're worrying about the big, humongous machine. Now they're humongous. Let's be real. I'm not going to stand here because, I don't like what WWE does. I'm going to be like, make it look like they're not humongous. They're the biggest machine right now in all professional wrestling, especially with Endeavor behind them. Okay. If you guys saw the confrontation with Rey Mysterio and Logan Paul, they try to make it like a UFC square off, which I found is stupid because this is not UFC, but this is what they're doing and they're getting eyes on the product. This is what Tony Khan should be doing. eyes on the product, and he's not doing that. Again, I made the suggestion. I think it was last week, or I believe it was this week's audio podcast, that they should go to the point where WCW used to do. They used to surprise people every week with something crazy, kind of a little bit of Crash TV, a little bit. Not, this is before Vince Russo went to WCW. This is the NWO era. Every week, a surprise. It made people want to go back to the product. They're not doing that. This week's show was not good at all. Who came up with the idea to have the Acclaim teamed up with MJF? It did not look right at all. It does not look right at all. Okay. And then the fact that they rushed now Jay White to wrestle MJF so quick, to me, makes no sense. That's the way I look at it. It's too quick. Now, I understand you're probably going to ask yourself, oh, there's not a lot of heels. Oh, there's not a good heels. I mean, they are good heels, but, but you couldn't wait. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, my main concern is Collision. Because Collision right now, they don't have a main guy who's going to take that. You know what I'm saying? I saw some article where supposedly CM Punk said when he used to book, he used to be entertaining, whatever. You were just trying to book for yourself. You didn't care about nobody else. And you had your little crew of people that you didn't want in your show, which is stupid because it's making it look like you run the fucking company, which I thought they was stupid. You know what I'm saying? And if you're trying to make peace with everybody, then that should have never happened from June all the way to September after he got fired. So that means 2 months or 3 months of this shit led him to get fired anyway. So when I saw that, I'm like, so they showed me that Tony Khan pulled all his chips on CM Punk instead of building a star, instead of, trying to make people check the product. He didn't do that. Now my boy at work was telling me that Ronda Rousey is going to be a Revolver. I think November 17, 18, something like that. And Athena's going to be in the show. A couple of other people. He thinks that she's coming to AEW. If he brings her to AEW, he's an idiot. Because Ronda Rousey is not going to do nothing for your division. Your division needs help. Your division, women's division, the woman you should be bringing in is Mercedes Moné. No, not Ronda Rousey. Screw Ronda Rousey. No, because if she don't get what she wants, you're going to have the same attitude she had with WWE. Okay? So Ronda Rousey, no, I don't think so. Okay? They need to bring 2 people in AEW. And that is Will Ospreay and Mercedes Moné. Nobody else. You don't need to bring anybody else. Okay? And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So, also this report, I just want to finish this up real quick. Coming from New Japan, there is a story out there that they're going to bring a new United States IWGP title to Wrestle Kingdom. There's going to be a new title brought up. I think it's probably going to be the US, UK. I don't know what it's called, but a new title is going to be revealed on a 3-way match that's going to include Will Ospreay, Jon Moxley, and David Finlay. The winner of that 3-way for Wrestle Kingdom. That's already been announced, so that is going to be fire. Also, so let me go real quick and talk about the Crown Jewel. Crown Jewel just exactly what was predicted. Again, I'm going to say this. It's not because I hate WWE, because people love labeling me and whatnot. I heard a podcast where somebody was labeling me, which, hey, you could label me all you want. At the end of the day, I sleep well and I sleep in my morals, and I don't care that, I'm getting labeled. I don't care, because I speak the truth of what I see. Like I said, I see wrestling different than everybody else. Logan Paul ended up defeating Rey Mysterio for the United States title. Now, this is exactly what I said about what's going to happen now in SmackDown. Now, you're only going to have a one woman or one individual holding a title, and that is Io Scott, who, by the way, defeated Bianca Belair with the help of Kairi Singh. She's back in WWE, which to me, I shook my head like, okay, why are you back? You was doing fine in New Japan, but whatever. And I love Kairi Singh. I love Kairi Singh. Like, was one of my favorite girls in WWE before she left to Japan and lost to Mercedes Moné the belt on February. But my thing is, so now you only have Io Sky as your champion because Roman Reigns ended up beating LA Knight exactly the same way that you expect. The bloodline got involved. LA Knight got speared through the freaking railing, interfering. You know, the same bullshit Roman Reigns match that you see all the time. People interfering. And now Roman Reigns is going to take another 90 days. And just like I said last week on my last podcast that I did, 90 days. So that means he's not going to be around. So now Logan Paul wins the United States title. And instead of him getting ready to wrestle a wrestler, he's talking about Bad Bunny. Him and Bad Bunny in a match for the United States title. Again, this is one of the reasons why I don't watch WWE. Because they just pretty much have just taking wrestling out of the whole fucking promotion now, really. Because now you want to call it wrestling, that's fine. You call it sports entertainment, that's fine. But at the end of the day, you're gonna have possibility the United States title, prestige title. That belt could you put a lineage back to the 1970s, Wahoo McDaniel, Ric Flair, Sergeant Slaughter. I could go on and on. Don Canute. I could go on and on. All the United States champions that held that title. That title is about to be in the middle of what we call a YouTuber versus a reggaeton artist. It's not wrestlers. It's not wrestlers. And the thing is that people love to say that I love criticizing WWE, that I hate WWE. The funny thing is that they're not looking that these are people who are not wrestlers. Triple H had the balls to say, "Oh, on his 8th match, he's a champion," because he didn't go and wrestle everybody else to get to the United States. He skipped the line on everybody and took the belt. And people got nervous to be saying that I hate WWE. How is that? How's that make sense? How a guy who's a YouTuber, supposed to be a boxer, and he's all this bullcrap, whatever, and you go at his 8th match, you give him the United States title. Mind you that he fought Rey Mysterio Jr., a legend, and he lost to Logan Paul. And now, most likely, he's not going to be around. He's not going to be around with that United States belt. So that belt's not even going to be on TV and SmackDown. Okay? Now, it's funny because Fox TV made a situation about what's the reason they're not going to be working with WWE anymore. It has to do with advertising, whatever. But could it be more? Maybe they've been asking, like, why are we having this? He's not a wrestler, whatever. But anyway, the point is, Logan Paul is not going to be in SmackDown every week. So the United States title is not going to be on SmackDown. Roman Reigns is not going to be on SmackDown for God knows how long. Okay. And now the crazy thing is that Logan Paul, it's not looking to defend the belt against a Sheamus or I'm not saying the Miz because the Miz is Raw. A Sheamus, Bobby Lashley, Montez Ford, or somebody like that. No, he's looking to defend the belt against Bad Bunny. He called out Bad Bunny in the press conference. And people think that I hate WWE. Does this make sense? You as a pro wrestler, a professional wrestling fan, and been watching WWE, do you want to see this? I'll wait. You know what I'm saying? It may be entertaining to other people, but I mean, it's crazy. But then again, I bet you that if that happens, you could best believe that Tony Khan may try to do something stupid like that. If Tony Khan does something like that, he needs to get smacked too. And this is what I said that, and I said this, and it's crazy because I said this this week, and I said if AEW goes under, I'm done with this podcasting. I'm done with wrestling because I will not sit and watch WWE. I won't. I don't care what happens. I won't. You know what I'm saying? I won't. You know? Don't get me, like I said, it's crazy. It's crazy because I look at it and I say to myself, how in the world people get entertained with this? You know what I'm saying? Seth Rollins beat Drew McIntyre, and I'm sure there's a Twitter guy running around. They used to pop on my feed all the time, talking about how great Drew McIntyre is, that he should be a world champion, he should get another run. Well, go to show you, he got a title shot, but he's not getting another run. So, you know, Drew McIntyre should, I mean, they should sign him, keep him there, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Cody Rhodes ended up beating Damian Priest. The briefcase should have been on the line, so therefore, you know, you could have made a bigger story with Cody having the when he could cash in on Roman Reigns, but they're not doing that. They're not doing that. So, I mean, I have not seen Crown Jewel yet, but I'm reading the results. And then I saw Twitter clips of it on the Roman Reigns and LA Knight match. But again, too much interference. You know what I'm saying? Too much interference, you know? So if they're going to do the bloodline, they should just keep moving and make it bigger. Now, my question of the night before I leave is, he lost to Roman Reigns, LA Knight. Where does he go from here? Is he going to be the one now going to wrestle? What their plan was to have LA Knight meet Logan Paul somewhere in Royal Rumble. But most likely he won't even be in the Rumble. It might be in WrestleMania because my man Logan Paul is eyeing Bad Bunny. I mean, you can't make this shit up. You can't. You cannot make this shit up. You know? So, real quick, Kevin Kelly elaborate on his decision to leave New Japan Pro Wrestling. He said back in September, Kevin Kelly revealed that he'll be leaving the Japanese promotion after Wrestle Kingdom 18 on January 2024. Another guy leaving New Japan. When asked about his decision, Kelly noted that his wife doesn't want to be home alone anymore. After he officially leaves New Japan, Kelly will strictly be working for All Elite Wrestling, where he's on commentary team for episodes of AEW Collision. I say Kevin Kelly is the man when it comes to play-by-play. So while appearing on the latest episode of the AEW Unrestricted podcast, Kelly once again know that his wife doesn't want to be alone anymore. Kelly then went into detail about the brutal schedule, how it caused him to miss Christmas and many other important holidays. He said, because my wife said I don't want to be alone anymore, I'm not lying. We've been together 33 years, married 30. I told her when the time is right, you tell me and I will start going to Japan because I've been gone weeks at a time, months at a time, come home briefly, go back weeks at a time. We all miss birthdays, family vacation, and all those type of things. But when you're missing Christmas and you're missing New Year's and you're missing anniversaries and you're missing everything, it just gets to be too much. So when this AEW opportunity came around, the first conversation that Tony and I had was about still keeping up New Japan commitments. And he said, yeah, that's fine. We'll have Atlanta or somebody fill in. Actually, we'll have Ian. That's what I mean. Ian Cavani fill in or somebody in. He and I figured it will probably be 12 dates a year. And I'll talk to my wife about it. And she was like, I don't want to be home alone anymore. And I was like, okay, say no more. That's it. I talked to New Japan. I talked with Tony. I got these two shows that I definitely have to do for New Japan. But after that, I'm just going to be here in the States. Here in North America within a couple of hours flight. I'll be gone away from home as much as AEW needs me, but I'll always be that close. I'll never be more than a half a day away. So, you know, I can remember recently stated that Kevin Kelly is a Hall of Famers and whatnot. So Listen, Kevin Kelly is the man when it comes to commentating. He makes AEW Collision very good. I like his whole smoothness in the play-by-play. I love him. So, that is a big win for AEW as far as the you know the commentary team. MJF becomes the longest AEW World Champion in the company history, and pretty much MJ won the title from John Moxley at AEW Full Gear 2022 on November 19, 2022. And this time, as champion, MJF has to made 8 title defenses. He defeated Adam Cole, Ricky Stark, Bryan Danielson in an Iron Man match, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Samoa Joe, Ethan Page, and Omega in singles competition. He also got the better of Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, and Jack Perry in a 4-way. So, yep, he has done everything. His next title defense will be against Jay White. But the funny thing is that Jay White pinned this week MJF, and MJF reluctantly scissors with the acclaim, which I said that was I don't know, I did not like that. But MJF didn't get the AEW World Championship back, but he has a special moment with the acclaim. I don't think it was a special moment and whatnot. So again, Jay White ended up pinning MJF this past Wednesday, and I think honestly, Jay White pinning him pretty much tells you that Jay White is not going to win the title on Full Gear. Something is up with that, and I believe that this whole thing that is Keisha and somebody with the devil mask on, who could that be? That's the part that I'm still saying to myself, who would that be that behind the mask? I still say it's Adam Cole. It could be anybody, so who knows? Then I'm gonna end this with the Seth Rollins. Again, I told you that you guys that he defeated Drew McIntyre. After that, Seth Rollins tells Will Ospreay the water is warm after Ospreay reacts to Seth WWE Crown Jewel win. So after the bout, Will Ospreay took on social media to post the infamous eyes emoji, letting everyone know that he was paying attention and whatnot. So Rollins responded telling Ospreay that the water is warm. So it's no secret that Ospreay is a free agent in February 2024. When his contract with New Japan expired. Ospreay has said that he's open to going to WWE and has often named Ron as a potential opponent for himself. Before Ospreay's contract expired, he will defend his IWGP United States Championship at New Japan Pro Wrestling Kingdom and in a 3-way bout against Finlay and Moxley, like I said earlier today. So that is it right now for now. So there you go, guys. I just gave you everything that's going on in the wrestling world and whatnot. So that is it for me today, guys. I thank you very much for pretty much following me on my YouTube channel, guys. Can subscribe, hit that notification bell for new uploads. Again, thank you very much for the support and all that and whatnot. Check this out. Please do me a favor and follow me on social media through Apple, Facebook, Instagram, the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. You guys also could check out my audio podcast I drop on Thursdays. The one available on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and any audio podcast platform that you guys like to listen to your favorite show. Also check out my podcast store where I got t-shirts, sweaters, and hats. Chokeslam Wrestling Report, tcwr.veryimpressive.com. That's tcwr.veryimpressive.com, guys. And you could check it out. You could check out the website in there, and you could check out all the stuff, all the merchandise that I have there. Again, thanks for everybody who supported me and whatnot. I got a lot of ideas coming up for the new year. Again, there will be season 6, if I'm correct, of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report for next year. Again, thank you very much for all my supporters, and I will continue doing what I do best and whatnot, even though, I have a lot of people always labeling me, but it is what it is. I speak my mind, and like I said, this is my platform. I'm going to say what I got to say, and, a lot of people don't have to agree with me for some of my way I see things, so I am not getting into no back and forth on social media with anybody because I don't got time for that. So I'm trying to build a brand here, and that's the whole point. And when I'm bringing this, so till then, guys, I will see you next week with more Chokeslam Wrestling Report. Until then, guys, and whatnot, just continue to support it, and we'll talk next week.